Welcome to another episode of High Proof Ashes. I am one of your co-hosts, Jason JB Smoke, and over to my right,
you know what it is. No cool nickname, Duran. We back at it.
We're back at it. So we were having such a good time with the cigar, we figured we just need to hit the record button again.
Yeah, let's just do it.
You know, grab a bottle, another bottle.
Yeah.
And let's just, jump into
keep
another
smoking.
one. Hell yeah. So we are still smoking the Southern Draw Manzanita, and has become my new favorite Southern Draw. I used to love the Firethorn, but now I love this one even more.
Yeah, this is a good stick, man. Like I said, if you didn't watch the previous episode, do so. You can get all of our thoughts on the cigar. I'm not going to say a whole bunch about it because there's a whole episode for you to watch where we talk about it. But phenomenal stick from Southern Draw. If you haven't tried this brand, you should probably give it a shot. It's affordable, and they're doing good things. So,
yeah, and they got a whole lineup. So, if this one isn't your thing, I'm sure they got another one that would be something you'd really like to try.
Absolutely.
But our spirit that we're going to highlight today is something a little new that I found. I think it's kind of newer to the market.
Probably.
So this is the High West Cask Strength. I don't remember anything about it. So let me grab the bottle, unfortunately.
This is off the cuff.
Right? So this was actually a pick. It just says Tennessee Selection. But it is, and of course they make it hard to read. Looks like it's right at about 120 proof.
Okay.
So no age statement. But I am a fan of High West. And so when I saw it, I said, you know what? I don't think I've ever had a high proof High West.
Right.
Most of their stuff tends to be in the 90, ish kind of range, if you will. And so I thought, hey, let's give this a try. But let's grab a pour of this. It's in their sort of standard rustic bottle. And you have not tried this.
I have not. This is going to be a brand new taste for me, so we'll see. The only one I've had from High West that I'm not a huge fan of is the Campfire, I think it is.
That doesn't surprise me because it has a blend of Scotch in it.
Yeah. So that's the only one I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah. So if you haven't heard of the Campfire, it's a blend of, I think, bourbon, whiskey, and Scotch.
Got a little something on that. Hold on.
And it's definitely got the flavors of all of them. So if you just absolutely hate Scotch, you probably won't like the
clean this bottle up
Campfire.
Here.
Made a mess.
I don't know if it was me or you. It was kind of wet when I got it. Shit. But I'm gonna take care of it regardless. You know what I'm saying? I got good home training, so I'm not gonna leave it that way. I'm not gonna leave it that way. Whether I did it or you did it,
Okay. All right.
Point no fingers. I'm gonna take care of it.
All
though.
right.
I'm gonna nose this up real quick and. So I smell a bit of proof on this one, like just a bit. But it's still not overwhelming.
No, I mean you don't really smell the 120.
No, but there's a slight tingle in the nose.
Yeah.
So it's a little something there. But it very, very, very good smell though. But like the nose is phenomenal, I think.
Nice color.
Color is absolutely beautiful. That's, yeah. Wish we knew how old this was.
Ooh.
This doesn't drink 120 at all.
No.
Like at all.
No. That's nice.
It's less complex than I expected it to be for. It's a cask strength, right?
It is.
So I expected it to be a little bit more flavorful.
It doesn't have a lot of complexity.
No.
It's good, but it's not great.
I'm gonna give it refined.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna give it refined, right?
I am
it's
curious.
Very well rounded.
I'm curious about the age on this thing. They did a good job, doing whatever they did to get it to taste, like this, to bottle it. think it's a single barrel. It's probably a blend.
Yeah.
You know, it did say small batch on it, but let's see. Do they do? I think they're MGP, aren't they?
I may have put my cigar down too long.
Yeah, it just says bottled by them, so chances are
Nope. Hey, that's a sign of a hell of a cigar right there.
it just lit right back up.
It looks like it wasn't lit.
Yeah.
And, you know, quick draw. Look at all that smoke, man. I'm pretty impressed with this. I'm not going to lie.
I love when you get impressed by a new cigar.
Like, you know, especially one that's I would consider pretty much a budget line, right? Like,
Yeah, it's not an expensive cigar. It's like
let me not say budget, because when I think budget, I think, you know, $6 to
sub
$8.
10, yeah.
This is, it's a very affordable cigar, right? Like, it's an average price cigar.
It is
It's
an
not
average
crazy.
price. Yeah, it's an average price cigar.
Speaking of price, what do you remember the price on the High West?
I think it was 55.
Okay, so I'm not mad at that price point for a cask strength.
Yeah, I think it was 55 if I remember right. You know, even like the campfire, I think is like 70.
Okay.
You know, so they're like, you know, double rendezvous, right? Those get a little bit higher,
Yeah.
a little rare, a little more limited. They have a crazy list of offerings as well.
Yeah, they
Various
really do.
Bourbons and rye. The campfire is a weird blend.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's a pretty neat brand. Like if you haven't ventured into it, you know, it's a good brand to, and they do a standard, just a standard fair bourbon as well.
Yes, I know.
And they even do it in a handle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think the handle's like $50.
So I don't think I've tried the standard fare of the High West.
It's very average.
And
It's
so again, let's not pretend like there are a lot of manufacturers out there that are making great standard fare bottles, right? It is what it is.
It's a good sipper,
yeah,
but average for us,
Yeah.
I guess.
yeah.
I would say.
I mean, you know, a lot of the things we do are not standard fare, so that makes sense. There's only a few bottles that I like the like entry level of the bottle. Me personally, anyway. This is super impressive, bro. Like
it like it's still super flavorful.
yeah,
Like it just keeps going.
like sometimes when you get into like the second, third, and last
Mhm.
third of cigars, they start to taste a little funny and bitter, and
well, they
you know.
just kind of go flat,
yeah.
right? Because the flavors.
I'm
are just,
still very happy with this.
Yeah.
And so we've had two different bourbons with this same cigar, and
both cask strengths.
it's matching very well with both,
Yes.
right? Like
The higher proof is complementing the cigar and
Very,
vice
very
versa
well.
very well.
yes,
You know, so maybe there's something to be said about when you're drinking something higher proof, you don't smoke that really strong cigar. Might be something to try out more often.
maybe.
You know, but to be fair, I don't have a whole lot of medium-bodied cigars.
That's what I was about to say. That's where the problem comes in. I just don't have a ton of cigars that are not full body.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy full body cigars.
Right.
You know, and full body, full strength cigars. You know, so
Well, I think for us, you know, the thing about this one is that it's, even though it's a medium strength cigar, it's a full flavored
it's a
cigar.
full flavored cigar.
And that's the thing that we really look for is
I
I
agree.
want tons of flavor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you and me both. So just when I said I thought I could make it through another episode with this, I'm wondering, like, because now all of a sudden I want to smoke the hell out of it.
go for it, man. Do you?
I'm really just, I guess I'm really just impressed with how flavorful it is, and then the smoke production is incredible, right? Like,
Where you at?
yeah, like it's just like the smoke production is incredible.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, you know, I
Yeah.
see you, Southern Draw.
Yeah,
I'm going to spend a little money and buy some more and see how I feel about some of the other stuff in the line.
They did a hell of a job, man.
Yeah,
They did a hell of a job.
absolutely. So I've been meaning to bring something up
Okay.
about the podcast, or not the podcast, but just like cigar accessories.
Okay.
We don't normally talk about like cigar accessories, right? And I wanted to talk about lighters in particular.
Okay.
So let's just go through a couple of different types of lighters that there are, and then talk about why whichever, is your favorite.
Okay. So, you're putting me on the spot. So I'm going to say you can probably put most cigars in 4 categories.
Mm-hmm.
One would be the like smaller, pocket-sized, typically single flame.
Yeah.
Maybe they might be a double flame. A lot of them are like cigar shaped, so you can put them in your travel humi, right? And so they're easy to transport. Yeah, there's one right there. And then you have sort of I'll say your medium size, which would be more like this one, right? So it's still what I'd call a personal lighter, But
this is a pocket carry too.
Yeah, still small enough to carry in the pocket, right? But you got more flames, or you know what I'm saying? Like you've got a 4 flame.
This is a 4 burner.
Yeah, this is a 3 burner. So bigger tank. These things usually have bigger dials and stuff on them, so they're a little bit easier to use. This is my favorite for home use, just because sometimes I go outside and I want to be able to just grab it real quick. But the only thing I don't like about it is the tank size. Like I'm just constantly refilling it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you have your next one up, which would be kind of your smaller tabletops, right?
Let me see if I can. Hold on.
So like the
my
one,
bag is close, so if you see me digging,
like the one that I use when we go to Whiskey Wednesday. That's like a smaller tabletop, still kind of personal. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So this one, so when you get to this size, now you can start adding things to the lighter, right? You've got a, I think that's a 4 burner right there. Yeah. So that has a cigar rest on it, right? So if you're one of those guys that don't like to
share ashtrays,
yeah, you don't want to put your, your cigar, on the public ashtray, right? And then, of course, the thing's got a huge tank on it.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely. I can run on that for a couple weeks.
Easy.
A couple weeks.
Yeah. And then you have your full-fledged tabletops.
Yeah, the monsters.
That you're not putting in a pocket.
Yeah, it's huge.
These things are, in your hand like this, right? And those are the ones that you typically see at your lounges, right? That are kind of the community lighter. And they just have massive tanks on them. They take a third of a can, fuel. It's craziness, right? And then you've got stuff in between. Some of these lighters, I don't think, I've got one of these too. I don't think this has anything else on it, but sometimes they come with like a punch.
Yeah, they have accessories on them,
built into it, that sort of thing. I mean, I think they all serve a purpose, and I think that a lot of them comes down to how much you smoke, where do you smoke.
Mm-hmm.
If you just smoke at a lounge, you probably want something that's a little bit more portable.
Yeah.
But you also don't want something you're going to have to fill up every 3rd cigar.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When I'm smoking at home, this is my primary lighter, but this is a terrible lighter for touch-ups.
Yes.
Right? So I prefer to have a single one beside me.
So what I was actually where I thought we were going to get to is like, there is no favorite for me, because I have lighters that all serve different purposes, right? So truth be told, even if I'm at home or I'm out, I have to have more than one lighter.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. For one reason, you need a backup.
For all sorts of reasons.
You run out of fluid and you forget to refill.
You drop the damn thing and you break it.
You break it, right? Like you have to have a spare. First and foremost, you have to have a spare, right? But then I can't use a 4 burner. I can, but I don't want to use a 4 burner torch to touch up my cigar.
That's right.
Right? I want to use a pencil lighter, a little 1 burner to just get those little frayed edges, right?
That's right.
And then like Jason said, so when I'm out and about, I'm at a new cigar lounge. I don't know how they are about cleanliness and things of that nature. I love having this right here because I've got my little rest, right? So that's just my thought process. But so if you had to pick a lighter
to always
carry, what would it be?
It'd be that one right there. The one that you pulled out.
This one.
Yeah.
Yes. That's my favorite lighter to carry.
It serves the most purposes.
Absolutely.
I could touch up if I needed to.
Yep.
I get the cigar rest. I get the 4 burner. I get the larger tank.
Yep.
It's just You could put that in your pocket if you need to.
It's the most versatile.
It is the most versatile. Yeah, absolutely. And then, here we are. Everything that I'm talking about are typically torch lighters.
Yeah.
But we also have soft flames.
Soft flames.
They're soft flames. And I mean, there's, I just recently found out that they make lighters that do both, which is crazy to me, but okay. I mean, a soft flame, like if I could light with a soft flame all the time, I would. But
it doesn't work in certain circumstances are not good for a soft flame.
Right. So plus the torch is just convenient.
It is.
It lights the cigar super quick.
It's windy outside. Don't matter.
Man, it doesn't matter.
Might burn the shit out your hand, but
The only time the torch is really trouble is when it's bright outside. Because
it's hard to see the flame.
Yeah.
I've gotten myself a few times with that.
Yeah.
And
then you get some of these lighters, like this one's a good example that it's not immediately clear which is the lit
which end lights, right?
Yeah, like sometimes you pick up a lighter and you go like flick and you're like, oh crap, it was going the wrong way.
So how I always so what I do is I always feel the notch on this one, right?
Yeah.
And I can tell like if I pull or push.
Yeah.
Right. So like just a little push and I'm like, okay, the top's up here because I'm pushing up. Right.
Yeah. Well, so like this one you push up to light.
Yeah.
This one you pull down to light.
Yeah.
And so it's
this
not
one,
universal. That one you pull down.
You pull down, but it also has a flip top.
Yeah, it has the lid. Yeah.
So, but yeah. Let us know what your favorite type of lighter is, and how you light your cigars. What do you use, right? You're a soft flame, or are you a match person, right? Matches is a nightmare for me. 9 times out of 10, the only place that matches is good is if you're in like a controlled space with no fan, no wind, no nothing, right? Like,
well, and you can't have the standard like match.
No, you gotta have like, a good one, like you have the cigar match,
a cigar match. Yeah.
If you got a little bitty box of matches,
it's not gonna work.
You're gonna be mad as hell. You're gonna light like 6 of those things before you get your cigar lit.
Right.
But tell us what your thought process is on, using what to light. There's other ways to light too, right? You can use the splints that are come on, like Fuente does it a lot. They
put them right back here.
The wrapper.
Right there. I use them every now and again.
Yeah, so that's a fun little experience, right? If you know how to do it, you got to light the end and hold it a certain way, or it'll go right out if you don't. So there's some etiquette to all of those things.
And there's companies that make them, specifically to light your cigar, so they're shaped kind of weird and whatever. But they're made to burn a little bit easier, so it's a little easier to use, that sort of thing. But this is sort of my home everyday lighter, just because that one stays in my bag.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't like to have to take lighters and stuff out of my bag.
Yeah, no. I carry. So I actually, at any given time, I probably have 5 or 6 lighters. To be completely honest, it's kind of crazy. But so this one stays in my box, the pencil lighter, because it fits in my box very well, right?
Yeah, of course.
It fits just like a cigar. There's another lighter in my box, which I call my Ferrari lighter. It was a gift from one of our group people, Jill, and I take it everywhere I go because it's one of my favorites to use. And then this is what my pocket lighter. This costs like $12. Mm-hmm. If I lose this, I'm not gonna be mad, right? So this is my pocket lighter. If I sit this down, forget it. So what? Right? No big deal. This one, I lost this for like 3 weeks.
Did you?
I lost it at the lounge.
Oh, wow. So
I'm in the lounge Friday. Sohail picks it up, lights a cigar with it, and I'm like, that looked like my lighter because,
Well, you would know because it's missing a head.
It's missing a head. So I said, Sohail, is that missing? Is it a 4-burner missing one of the burners? He's like, yeah. So Abu walks. I'm like, man, that's my lighter. I've been looking for that for like 3 weeks. He's like, how's it your lighter? Tell me about it. I'm like, well, it's very easy to tell you it's my lighter because it's a 4-burner missing one of the. He's like, yeah, man, that's yours, dog. That's yours. And I'm like, I know. Like, I've been looking for it. Like, he's like, dude, it's been here for like 3 weeks. I was like, okay, well, But
yeah, I mean, so when it comes to lighters, man, you can spend $5 and you can spend $5,000.
Yeah, we just found out recently, right? Like, there's some crazy expensive lighters out there.
There is.
I'll probably never be that guy to spend that much on one. I don't think it's no other purpose other than a flex. Like, just being honest, it's just the flex of saying I got a $5 grand lighter.
Look, my thing, like, I smoke too much to have a $5 grand lighter.
I mean, if somebody want to send us one, I'm in.
I mean, like, you look at this thing, like the paint's all like chipped off and stuff.
It's
like
a wrap.
So it's serving a purpose.
Yeah. I mean, again,
and it works well.
I agree. I'm a huge fan of functional things over expensive things, right? Like this joint right here, I've had for I don't know how long, man. Like, and when I tell you this is a $12-15 lighter, like, but it's just right.
I have one just like it, and I dropped it one too many times, and the little plastic knob on the bottom broke off.
Came off. Yeah.
And so I'm just like, okay, fine. I got plenty of lighters.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's the thing about this one, right? Like it's it could take a few bumps or whatever, and if it takes a bump and it breaks, I'm not gonna feel bad. I didn't break the bank for it. Whereas when I broke this one or noticed that it was broken, I was kind of pissed off because this bad boy was $50-$60.
Right.
So when it broke, I was a little upset. But it's also temperamental too. Like sometimes
it's funny because I don't have that trouble with mine.
Mine is temperamental as hell.
And it's not because you don't have it turned up. I mean,
it's good. Like, 1 second it works, and the next second I'm like, what's wrong with you?
It's so weird how some of these lighters be temperamental like that.
Things happen. Things happen. But I know we jumped into something different, so I guess we should venture back here, and we've both, I think, let it marinate a little bit.
Yeah, man, we let it, kind of rest in the glass, right?
The ethanol feels like it burned off a little.
Yeah, I'm getting more of the kind of the classical bourbon aromas.
It's good,
but nothing special.
No more complexity than the first sip.
Yeah. It's one to just kind of visit every now and again to have something different. But
yeah. Because it does have a unique taste, though. I will say that.
Yeah. It has that High West flavor to it.
Right.
I don't know a better way to describe it.
Yeah, it's just their thing. Right.
Yeah, they're out of Utah. But I enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't dislike it at all.
For what it is, for the price, I don't hate it. But how are you doing on your cigar over there? Are you just puffing it down? Did you pull way ahead of me? Oh, no, not really.
I don't think so. So I will say this: I've got a little bit weirder of a burn now. Like all of a sudden, it's doing something a little funny. Got a little canoe in there. But again, here's what I'll say: when we jumped into this next episode, I was like, oh shit, I don't know if I'm gonna make it 30 minutes. Like there might be another 30 in there.
It's a long burner. I mean,
so for a $12 stick to get, I'll probably get an hour and 20, hour and a half out of it.
Right. Can't complain, right?
I mean, you're talking, $4 for every 30 minutes.
Right.
I'm happy with that, man.
That's some cheap entertainment.
Cheap entertainment, bro. Like, I went to the movies the other day and I couldn't get a ticket for that. So
hell, you can't get nothing for that. No drink, no popcorn, no candy. They'll give you a straw maybe.
See, this is what this is great for. You seen that touch up there? Perfect for just touching up. Whereas that 4-burner would have burnt up a whole bunch of sticks.
You got to be careful with it, right? You just
got to be better, right?
You're just kind of doing like this, just to kind of and it's almost a waste. It's too much.
Yeah,
you don't need
absolutely.
It. So mine has burned wonky and then cleaned itself up and then burned wonky and cleaned itself up and haven't had to touch it up yet. But it's not a perfect cigar, but the flavor and the smoke, everything else you get from it, I can ignore.
It's well worth the
money.
Slightly
wonky burn.
It's well worth the money. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, if you can find this at $10, $12, you're getting your money's worth. It's a very good cigar. Very good cigar.
Mm-hmm. So I had a guy at work today ask me if I stayed up late the other night to watch a college baseball game.
God, no.
And I said, hell no. Why the hell would I do that?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I don't know. You might be in the local team, whatever. It was a college game, whatever. And I'm just like, man, I just baseball. I have a hard time playing baseball, much less watching it.
Okay.
Like my thing is, my argument to him was that baseball to me is like, and this might stir something, whatever, but trigger something, but it's not really a team sport.
Okay, elaborate.
So at any point in time, it's a one-on-one matchup.
It's always a one-on-one matchup,
That's right.
but you need your team to ultimately.
Like what I'm saying, like, okay. So I'll just describe a few things, right? So if your players can hit the ball every time they step up to the plate, you're going to win. Just period.
Okay.
So you just got to be able to hit the ball. And guess what? That's your whole offense.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about stealing. You don't have to worry about all that other nonsense, okay? All you got to worry about is hitting the ball, okay? So it's the pitcher and the batter, one-on-one.
So I'll disagree with that in a little bit, right? You do have to worry about more than just hitting the ball. You have to worry about getting on base.
So that's sort of the second part, right? You got to be able to sprint for 3 seconds.
Well, no, you have to get on base, whether it's hitting the ball or having a good enough eye to not swing at bad pitches and get on base, right?
Yeah.
So on base is the biggest part of the game. You got to be able to get on base to win.
You got to be able. Well, first you got to hit the ball, and then you got to be able to sprint, right? Because I don't think that anyone can really like place the ball with with the hit with the bat.
You can. You absolutely can.
I mean, they might try, but they don't really know where it's going. Like,
so no, you listen, man. You swinging earlier will make it go one way. Swinging later will make it go another way.
But you're talking milliseconds to make it do those two things.
But again, when you look at those players that have been traditionally great, right? Like so you have infield shifts, outfield shifts, all of those type of things, right? So game planning for certain batters because they have tendencies to hit the ball here or there, right? So I think there's more to it than what you're giving it.
No, there is. I'm being a little extreme in what I'm saying.
Yeah, you like
no, I'm definitely being a little extreme in what I'm saying, but I'm just like, that poor right field outfielder guy. Like he doesn't hardly do anything ever.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like most of the time the ball doesn't go his way.
Okay.
Right? But he has to be alert.
All the time.
All the time because he might have to just boom, go.
But that's the part of baseball that I think is cool, right? Is you can never let your guard down.
That's true. You can't. That's
the one part of baseball that I enjoy is that you can never let your guard down, right? Because let's just say, you got a man on second, the pitcher's not paying attention, back turn, and you're this is where it becomes a team sport because the pitcher, right? So your second baseman, shortstop, pitcher, and catcher have to communicate with each other.
They do.
If that man is on second, leading off a base, right? Because the pitcher's got his back to him.
That's right.
So the catcher's got to be communicating with the pitcher,
You're not wrong.
So that's where it becomes this team dynamic where it's like, hey, we're all watching this guy. So the catcher's got to see this pitch coming, and he's got to see his man sliding over to the base to catch that. So there are some aspects, but I cannot watch 9 innings of baseball.
Everything.
It's a slow burn.
Even though it is a slow burn.
It's a slow burn.
But even everything you describe, it's still a somewhat simple game, right? Like, so what I was telling the guy is, before the batter even hits the ball, everyone on the field knows exactly where the ball's going. Probably one of 2 places.
Infield or outfield?
Well, no, I'm saying like once the ball is caught.
Okay.
Right? They know exactly where they're going to throw it. And so the guy that's supposed to catch it knows it's coming to him.
Right.
Right? So like, the example I gave to him was, if there's a guy on first and second, there's really only 2 options. Hits the ball to left field, ball goes to third base, hopefully second base too, to get a double play. Ball goes to right field, it goes to second base, and then goes to first base if you can get a double play. Like, that's it. Everyone on the field knows that that's what's going to happen.
Right.
Now it's a matter, of course, where the ball goes, right? It might stop at shortstop. You might walk the guy, you know, right? There's some other possibilities, but if the guy hits the ball, probably one of those two things are going to happen.
Right. Okay, I don't disagree with that.
So my only argument is that not only is it a slow burn, it's just such a simple game. Like, you know what's going to happen. Not you know what's going to happen. I don't want to say it like that. You kind of know what's going to happen once. You know what the after effects of an
once
action
the ball
are
is
gonna
in
be.
play.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, I get that, but so the only thing I would say is I don't think it's that simple, because I think you have to game plan differently for every player, right? So this player may, you know,
Everybody
do
has
this.
to be knowledgeable of, like,
Right.
the stats say he hits here, the stats say he hits
Right,
there,
so
the stats say he steals all the time, or, you know, whatever.
Right. So
Yeah,
I
I
think
get
there's
that.
some more complexities to the game.
Right.
It's just the nuances to that game are great, right? It's kind of like golf. Like, I think golf is interesting. I just don't want to watch 18 holes of it.
So golf, I actually used golf as an example to this guy when we were talking about it, and I was like, you know, at least with golf, it takes some kind of, like, mastery to it, right?
Mhm.
It's not like anyone can pick up a club and hit the ball.
No. But shit,
Okay.
baseball, anyone can't pick up a bat and hit neither.
So short of the hitting the ball with the bat, most people can play the rest of the game. The pitch and the hit. Other than that, most people can catch and throw a ball. Most people can be taught the strategy of where you're going to throw it, you know, if it goes here and all that kind of stuff.
But
right?
isn't that the same with any sport?
I mean, but not really, because, like, a lot of these other sports, there's so many other players in play, right? There's so much other movement, and there's other variables in play. And I'm not trying to discount the game. I'm not. That's not,
Okay.
that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to say that I think it's just a little too simplistic for me to be entertained.
I get that.
You
I
know?
can give you that.
And it's too damn long.
So my thing is baseball being America's pastime, right?
But why is it?
Just because I think it's just
Why is
one of those
baseball
things that-
America's game?
it was white for a long time.
That's not the explanation I gave. The
No.
explanation I gave is, you know, every boy, or, you know, maybe not every boy now, you know, because, you know, we got a bunch of softies out there, but, you know, every boy by the time they hit 8 knows how to play baseball.
Every boy by the age of 8 at least knows how to throw a ball.
They can throw a ball, they can catch a ball. They might not do it well, but they can do it.
Yeah.
Right? They can get the ball to the other person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, like, so, but with, at least with golf, it, like, takes some kind of, like, mastery of the skill.
Yeah, but that's not true. So, but if at 8 years old, you could go out and learn golf too.
You could, but I think golf...
You just wouldn't be as good at golf as you are at throwing and catching the ball.
Right. It's not like you just innately have the skill, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But with baseball, it's like you're just throwing a ball. Like, it's not even like football where it's a weird ball.
Yeah,
right?
but I've seen some folks throw that I'm like, damn, like...
I mean, they're weak-ass throwers, okay?
Like,
They're just, you know...
so when you say something like they innately know how to throw a ball, that's not true, because, like, it ain't... Not
More
everybody
people-
can walk out the house and go, I'm going to pick up this ball and I'm going to throw it and launch it over there.
Okay.
I've seen people pick up a ball and be like, damn, like, what is that? Like,
Okay, way more people can do it. How about that?
all right, I'll give way more people can do it. Okay.
Yeah, than, like, say, golf. Or even, like, bowling. Like, I love bowling. I used to play in leagues and all that kind of stuff. I was
Yeah.
a decent bowler. I was, like, 180, 200, you know, average bowler.
Okay.
That's a good bowler.
Yeah, that's a
You
very
know,
good bowler.
And, you know, but I could never watch the pros, you know? And the dude was like, you know what it is, huh? And I'm like, what? He's like, when you're watching these, like, pros, right? So this is, you know, baseball, especially, like, the non-team sports, right? And
Yeah.
to me, baseball is barely a team sport.
Okay.
But baseball, you know, like tennis, golf, bowling, all these, right? You're waiting for the fuck-ups. It's like NASCAR.
Yeah.
No one wants to watch people drive. They want to watch the fuck-ups.
Boy, you are alienating some folks out here, boy. Like, you, man, like, well, we at time. Let's get up out of here. Like,
I mean, seriously, though, like, you know...
you know we live in the South, right? You
I know.
brought up NASCAR,
I know.
baseball, and golf.
They're fine.
You might as well be a damn Yankee.
No, they're fine sports, and people really get into them, and they take skill. They all take skill. Even the driving takes skill. Like that, these guys don't just drive. You know, you and I drive. These guys, like, they train.
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking about like training to drive. Like they have to have endurance and
Yeah. Yeah. To
you know
be
all
in a
that kind
car
of
for
stuff.
that long,
Yeah, man. Like
doing that
you
thing.
can't just nobody can just not everyone can just jump in a NASCAR and just drive it. And,
Right.
and
Right.
compete. Like no, it doesn't work that way. So I get that. But it's just like you think about it, and you're watching for the screw ups.
I mean,
Because
but isn't that any sport?
But there's a lot of sports where
Because a screw up in football can be detrimental to the game.
It can, but it's usually not one person, right? It's usually a team effort that failed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I give you that.
Whereas like baseball, if you have an error, one person fucked up.
Okay, but what if you have a night
right.
of just nobody can get contact on the ball? Like you just got such a great pitcher on the mound, right? That nobody can hit him. A Randy Johnson,
So
Nolan Ryan.
I'm separating the pitcher batter dynamic
Okay.
from the rest of the game.
Okay.
Right. So the pitcher batter dynamic is the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I'm saying that the rest of the game is somewhat simplistic. So you're watching it for the duke between the pitcher and the batter.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay. I get it. I think it's more of a team sport than you're giving it credit for. But we can agree to disagree.
They're all needed, no doubt. They're all needed. I'm not saying they're not, right? So it's just, to me, it's, if you could instantly transport that left outfielder over to right field, right, he could field the ball and do the right fielder's job, probably.
I don't know about that.
I mean, I don't know. There might be a dynamic of like this guy can throw it farther than that guy.
Mm-hmm. That's a big part of it.
That could be there, maybe.
That's a big part, right? Like that center fielder has to be able to cover more ground than anybody on the field.
Sure.
The shortstop's got to have a hell of a glove, right? Like,
and a reaction time.
And reaction time's got to be at an all-time high for him, right?
That's the position I played. I get it.
So I think there are some intricacies, right? Like, and some different things to it. Like, I don't think you could take a first baseman and throw him in center field and he'd be, as effective. And I know some guys have done it, right?
I don't disagree with that.
So there's some nuances.
They're each specialized.
Yeah, there's some nuances.
Specialized.
Not going to take a catcher and put him in center field.
No, probably
right.
not.
But a catcher, one of the most important positions on the field.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, we're at time. Let's wrap it up. We'll do quick final thoughts. We really don't have to do the cigar because we did it on the last episode. So let's just go with the final thoughts on the High West.
So the High West, if you like a high proof, spirit whiskey. Is this a bourbon? Actually, don't even know. No, it is a whiskey.
It's a whiskey.
So if you like a high proof whiskey and you're looking to not like break the bank, this thing was somewhat affordable for 120 proof.
Yeah.
Whiskey. It tastes decent. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible. It's not like it's a mixer or anything like that. It's better than their standard fare. I'll definitely say that. But that's what I got.
Okay. For me, the High West, it's good. It's not going to blow your socks off.
Right.
But it's worth a sip, right? It's worth a pour, especially at the price point. It's got great proof. So if you're one of those people that enjoys a high proof bourbon, or a high proof whiskey, it's right up there. It's not overly hot or anything like that. It is very much just right in the middle of the pack. So I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's good. I think I'm repeating what Jason said, but I also think it's worth a pour. So that's all I got.
Let's wrap it up, man.
All right, man. Well, y'all know what it is, man. Another episode of High Proof Ashes. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you know when we drop new content. Please drink responsibly. With that being said,
absolutely.
I'm Duran, no cool nickname, my partner.
I'm Jason JB Smoke, and we'll see you on the next one.